Hey guys, Tim and Shana from Punk Rope. Shana's doing a high knee jump, alternating legs, and I guess a recovery jump in between. Yeah.
Recovery hop.
Recovery hop. So today's video is called Putting the Hip in Skip. Of course, skip is not spelled with an H, but you know, we're taking some creative license there. So basically, with rope jumping, many of the steps, there's very little hip flexion. So right, if Shana just does a basic bounce, it's tiny, tiny, tiny little flex of the knees, the ankles, and the hips. Barely anything at the hips. If she alternates feet, then yeah, it's a little bit more. But in life and in sport, hip flexion is huge, right? Driving the hips, if you're sprinting, if you're pushing a car up a hill, if you're kicking, combat sports, you know, there's a whole host of activities where hips are just so important. And so for that reason, we thought it'd be interesting to revisit the high knees jump, which is one of the few steps where the hips are really active. So we're gonna break it down for you, and we'll start without the rope, as we always do. Now this step also requires some balance and some flexibility, a little bit of range of motion. So you can see there, Shauna's thigh was actually even better than parallel to the floor. Her knee was above her waist. Some people can't do that, and that's fine. There it is, above. But our goal is going to be at least get it parallel if you can. So there it is. There's the hip flexion alternating, and then balancing on the support leg. So that's another thing to practice, is just lifting one leg and seeing if you can steady yourself for a bit. And then Shana made it a little more challenging by hopping. You can also just lift the heel and keep the forefoot down. And that's going to get your calf. Yeah, that's awesome. So there's a bunch of things you can do to challenge your balance. So there you go, no rope. Now we have the arms going, and we're driving the knees, getting those wrists rotating. And if you're looking in a mirror, you know, then you can see yourself in action. Some folks don't have mirrors, so you might have a friend videotape you. That's another option, or just watch you. So now we're gonna get the rope ready. This is the 5mm standard PVC rope that you'll see on our site and in, I believe, almost all of our videos. It's still kicking. This one's called the Scarlet Knight. So now we've got rope to the side. So Shauna's gonna put both handles in her dominant hand, which is her right hand. You can start with your non-dominant if you like, it's up to you. And we're swinging to the side, trying to get that rope parallel to the feet. And then we do the same step with the rope spinning to the side, just to nail down that coordination. There you go, there's knee up and knee up. So this is alternating sides. You don't have to alternate. You could theoretically go with the same leg, and I guess that's like a repeater from aerobics, old school. I don't know, that's what they used to call it. I don't know what they call it today. And then we can transition to the other arm. So both handles left. And you may have a piece of tape on the floor just so you can make a note of whether that rope is staying to the side and whether your feet are staying in place. You could use chalk. There's a whole bunch of things you can do. So now that we've gone through no rope, rope to the side, we are ready.
There's one more mobility drill.
Okay.
Also, if it used as a resting move.
Ah, yes. So rope under the leg. A little bit like basketball. And it's a good coordination drill because you have to pass from one hand to the other without the rope getting stuck. So
or
that's,
to bend over.
yeah, that's a nice one to try as well. There you go, from hand to hand. Awesome. Okay, so now we're ready to try this jump. And Shana's got her feet pretty close together, which is usually optimal. Some folks like a few inches apart. If you go too wide, you may get the rope caught on your feet. And we've got those elbows in nice and tight. And now she's got the knees driving up toward the waist, actually past the waist. So it's a good way to work on some power and a little exhale with that effort. Nice. That's beautiful. That's really great. And you may want to do this in short sets because it is pretty demanding. So whatever you think you're capable of, and then building in some recovery, right?
I'm going to try slowing the turn down. See.
Okay.
That might help.
So there's almost a little hesitation after the rope passes under Shana's feet. The rope's hanging. And that buys a little more time if you're looking to really drive that knee hard and up high.
Less tiring.
So there you go. You've put the hip back in skip. Great way to build some mobility and strength in the hip flexors. And yeah, break some boards, have some fun. Guys, thanks for joining us. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to hit that subscribe button. And as always, if you have any questions, jot them down in the comments below and we will answer them as soon as we can. All right, we'll see you next time.